What is going on, guys? My name's NeBo and welcome back to Blackwatch Intel. In today's video is going to be my top 5 tips on Symmetra and how you can be a better Symmetra player. Before we get into the top 5 tips, I would like to go over Symmetra's abilities so you guys have a better understanding of what I'm talking about in the actual tips, assuming that you've never played this character before. So we can start this from the ground up. Symmetra has a photon projector which has a primary and secondary fire. The primary fire of the photon projector emits a short-range beam that hones in on nearby enemies, dealing continuous damage that increases longer it is connected. The secondary fire on the photon projector releases a charged energy ball that deals high damage. Symmetra has 2 abilities, the Sentry Turret and the Photon Barrier. Symmetra sets up a small turret that automatically fires speed-reducing blasts at nearby enemies within range. Several turrets can be built on the battlefield at once. The Photon Barrier is a moving shield that absorbs damage as it travels forwards. Symmetra has 2 ultimate abilities, the only hero in Overwatch that has 2 ultimates, and that is the Teleporter and the Shield Generator. Symmetra places down a Teleporter exit pad at the current location, and it connects to the Teleporter entry pad where the team starts. Allies can travel through the entry pad to the exit, enabling them to return to the fight. The Shield Generator deploys a wide radius generator that provides increased shielding to Symmetra's entire team. Now that you know everything about Symmetra's kit, let's put everything we just learned into the game. Tip number 1, know your role. Symmetra is a support hero, but she is the only support hero that doesn't actually do healing. She supports her team by using the Photon Barrier, blocking incoming damage if the Reinhardt and or Orisa shields go down, giving extra DPS with her turrets, and also providing added shields to your allies' health. And I think the best way to play Symmetra would be on defense, staying in the back line, just providing your additional DPS and also shielding is the best way to play Symmetra and play your role right. Tip number 2, Sentry Turret positioning. Sentry turrets are best used in clusters of 3 or more for maximum damage. Hide them in close quarter areas or above door frames. Just be warned, if you put the sentry turrets too close to each other, there's a higher possibility that will be destroyed in a cluster. Placing 1 or 2 sentry turrets where your team isn't is great for black line flankers. You'll be notified when one of your sentry turrets is killed and or going off. Use this as an alarm for direction of the enemy team where they're attacking from. And one more thing about the sentry turrets, I always place my sentry turrets at the front gate when the game is about to start or in positions around the map that aren't common for the enemy team to notice, so you can build that ult charge up faster. Tip number 3, Photon Shield. The Photon Shield is an excellent way to push through a choke. Combined with Orisa or Reinhardt, and your enemy team should be able to move through just about any conformable choke. The Photon Shield can block ultimates such as Reinhardt's Earth Shatter, Diva's Self-Destruct, McCree's High Noon, and etc. Always stay near your team. Symmetra struggles to kill any heroes by herself, so you'll need them to protect you. Using the Photon Shield is the best way to do this, and always find ways to use your Photon Shield. Tip number 4, zoning and movement. Your alternative fire is great for zoning out enemy players or firing at static targets like Torbjorn's turrets. You should repeatedly use it as often as possible when attacking or defending. Symmetra can bypass shields with her orbs. Utilize this against tanky heroes such as Reinhardt, Winston, and Orisa. Symmetra's orbs are a sniper's nightmare. Widowmaker can't see through them, and though that they are slow moving, they are an excellent means of zoning. Symmetra is weak on her own in a 1v1 situation, but if you can utilize Symmetra's movements to your advantage, you will win the fight. Symmetra's primary fire locks on to an enemy and it is stuck on there. Now the enemy hero has to aim, such as a 76 or a McCree, has to try to precisely hit you while you're moving around. So jumping, crouching, running around that target will have an advantage for you to take them out. Tip number 5, Symmetra's ultimates. You can often build 20% ult charge just by placing a nest of turrets at the opponent's spawn when the game starts. Build your ultimate by firing through Reinhardt, Winston, or Orisa shields. Not only do you do damage to the shields, but the damage to them gives you a double burst to your ultimate charge. With Symmetra having 2 ultimates, the Teleporter and the Shield Generator, choosing one is key for the situation at hand. Using the Teleporter in the first point is probably key because the Teleporter can get your team back to the fight a lot quicker. Keeping your teleporter active is key, so placing it off in the distance but close enough to be at the front lines of the battle. Most maps have quiet spots that make ideal locations, so learn them. Your primary fire as Symmetra will build up your ult charge quickly. You don't earn ultimate charge if your teleporter is active. It's imperative once it's destroyed that you get it back as quickly as possible by damaging enemy players with your weapons or sentry turrets. The shield generator is a great way to give your team an added 75 armor on top of their health pool. I like to use the shield generator at the second point if the first is already taken to give you that extra line of defense with the shields to back up the actual point. The range of the shield generator is 50 meters in all directions. It has pretty big range for the area that you're trying to defend. The shield generator, just like the teleporter, cannot gain ultimate charge, and the shield generator is great to combo with a Torbjorn for the armor packs with the added shields. I'm just gonna throw this in for a bonus tip: Symmetra's counters. She's strong against Genji, Reinhardt, Mercy, but also weak against Pharah, Winston, Roadhog, Junkrat, McCree, Widowmaker, Reaper, and Soldier 76. Alright guys, so that is my top 5 list for Symmetra. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you learned a thing or two. If you did, make sure you drop a like and slap that subscribe button. My name's NeBo. Till next time guys, see ya.